Okay, okay. This is Adobe After Effects. This is Adobe Special Effects video software. Unlike Premiere, which is video editing, this is more special effects. So here, what do we do here? I used a plugin called Elements, in which you can go in and you can create a 3D image or bring in a 3D model. You can import a 3D model that you made in some other 3D modeling package. And you can see I used my name and I extruded it, which means I gave it thickness. And I chose some presets. I made it a chrome, and I used the background I used for my production. I used that background to make it look like it's in the actual video that I'm using. So I created Paul Peasy Production, and when I bring it in here, I added rotation to it by keyframing it so it rotates, and I added scale so it comes towards you. So it's spinning and coming towards you, and you can see it has the blue from within Elements. It still retains all those colors. Okay, and then I added a background like this. And this is a plugin called Lens Effects or Lens Flare Effects, and I created this lens flare, and the lens flare gets brighter and darker. I keyframe the brightness and darkness and the size of the lens flare, so it looks kind of like a pulsar going off behind the words. So I got that, and then I decided to add this. It's a background, so when the lens flare goes away, we got this pretty background. And you can see I changed the colors. I keyframed the colors and the brightness of the words to go with the brightness of the pulsar, and then the background I had to change colors to match the background, and then it fades off. And then I added another lens flare where the flare was on the planet, so that becomes brighter and gets darker and changes size. So what we have the spinning words, we have a blue pulsar, and then the flare from the eclipse gets brighter and then less bright, and the words change colors to match the flare from the planet. So that's what I did in After Effects. Okay, so I did my thing in After Effects, and I brought my my animation into Adobe Premiere, which is more like the video editing, where you can like add audio tracks and kind of splice the video clips together after you've created them in After Effects or whatever. So I bring it into Premiere, and that's what I got. I got my animation, words, pulsar, and then it changes into the picture of the eclipse and then fades out. So I got that, and then what I did was I added some sound, some audio. So what we get is this. It's like an angelic sound that I thought matched well with the final image of the eclipse. So now that we had that sound, I decided to add this. I'll take the angelic music away so you can't hear it, and then we can hear the sound of this pulsar exploding. Okay, so we got that. So when we add the two together, we get the angelic music, and then when the pulsar gets bright, this kind of explosion sound. Okay, so pretty much done. Okay, so what I've got now is I've got my my After Effects little video here. I got it in Premiere, and it looks good, and I like the way the words change color with the eclipse, and it gets darker and lighter with the flare. And I added added the sound, which is pretty good. Got the explosion and the angelic music. I will turn the sound off because it's annoying. But one thing I didn't like was the background was just blue all the way to the edges, and I didn't like that. So what I did was I added a black matte on top of all the other layers, and there it is. So it's just black, and it's just a black matte, and it goes the length of the video. And what I did was I took that matte and I added, what I added was a path, and you can see it's a circle in blue. Okay, so I have my black matte and I added a path, which is this blue oval. So I added an oval path which creates a mask, and what happens is it basically cuts out the top layer, the black matte, and you can see if I invert it, it's just a mask. But all it is a black oval, and it doesn't really look very good. So what I did was, and this is something really cool in this new version of Premiere, you can change the feathering with the numbers like so, but in Premiere there's a little handle here, and you can just drag the handle till you like it, and there you have a feathered oval, which is basically a vignette. So now we can see that the edges are like a vignette. So here's before. You can see with the bright blue going all the way to the edges, which I didn't like at all. And then what I added was a vignette for the length of the video. So here we go. That's it. And right there, that's it. I'm done. That's how I did it.